'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. But you know what was stirring? Me, in the kitchen. Because I'm going to be making cola de mono today, along with making a little stocking, along with talking about favorite Christmas movies and whatnot, and also, as always, reading y'all's letters. So without further ado, I want to welcome y'all to this year's holiday cheer. Welcome to Alexmas 2022. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle all the way. You might be wondering, why is she wearing a kitchen apron? My goodness, what is she doing in the kitchen? We all know she can't cook for shiz. You'd be correct, but it's a little bit different when you're making a drink. And I have prepared this cola de mono, little ASMR bottle time. Very nice. Yes, when you make this, you typically need boiling ingredients, but I stuck it in the fridge for an hour, so now it's nice and chilled. Let me explain to you the ingredients necessary to make cola de mono before we actually give a little bit of a sip. So let me get my handy dandy notebook. Blue's Clues reference for all of you kids that remember Blue's Clues. So, what you need to make cola de mono is, carefully lift this up here, 1 cup of granulated sugar, 1/2 ounce of cinnamon sticks, which is like 4 sticks if you do the math. You need 2 whole cloves. We do love clove. We do. You need 1 quart, aka 4 cups of whole milk, or in my case, almond milk, because lactose makes my stomach die, and I don't feel like dying during the holiday season. So, almond milk. Following that, you need 1 to 2 cups of freshly brewed coffee, or 1.5. We're gonna pretend this is the coffee right here. I'm not a huge coffee person myself, but I did put a little in here because, you know, the recipe calls for it. But 1.5 cups of fresh, strong brewed coffee. And then 1.5 cups of Chilean pisco. This is just soju, honestly. You can just use any clear alcohol, I would say, honestly. But this is what we substituted it for today because unfortunately we are not in South America and don't have certain ingredients available. But cheers. And then lastly, you need 1 teaspoon vanilla extract. Yes, yes. And the proper way to make it is as such. Place the sugar, water, cinnamon sticks, and cloves in a small saucepan. Bring it to a boil, reduce the heat as needed, and let it simmer for 5 minutes or so. Set it aside to cool over room temperature, and then you transfer the syrup, the vanilla, including the whole spice, into a larger container, a large pitcher kind of thing. Add the milk, coffee, pisco, and vanilla. Stir it well to combine, because if you don't stir it well, it's not gonna taste great. Cover with plastic wrap, which is optional, before you place it into a fridge, and make sure it cools down before you drink it. But anyways, we're ready for the drinking part, so without further ado, let me just, oh, that's so satisfying. Oh, that is so satisfying. Okay, we're gonna, Oh my god, I love alcohol. Alright, let's give her a little sippy whippy. A little sippity whippity. Oh! Oh, that's so good. Oh, that is delightful. Oh, I could drink this all day. Oh no, what have you done to me? Oh no, this is now gonna be my go-to every holiday season, and I hope that if you like to share in South American culture as well, that you enjoy cola de mono every year for Christmas or the holiday season, because oh my god. So you guys are global. I know this, my fan base is all around the world. What is a traditional food or drink that you guys have during the holiday season? I am very curious, so please leave that for me in the comment section. I'm obsessed with this. Oh no. So with that being said, we're now gonna go read your Christmas letters. So I'm gonna grab my cola de mono, my mic pack, and we're gonna shimmy on over to go read y'all's letters. Come on, let's go. The time has come for me to read once again your beautiful holiday Christmas stories that you sent in. Unfortunately, we cannot read all of them, but we have selected a few here for me to read. So we will be reading these by sitting by the non-existent fire. Ooh, toasty. And with my... refreshing. So, first story first. Here we go. This comes from Esther in Australia. G'day, mate. One year, my youngest brother came into the kitchen and said to my mom that he swallowed a bell, as in a bell of the Christmas tree. She didn't believe him until he got an x-ray and it showed a bell in his stomach. To this day, my dad will still shake him and pretend to hear the bell and call him bellboy. That's dangerous, and I don't encourage this behavior. But that's funny, Esther, so thank you for this wonderful bell story. You just shake your brother up and down and just jingle bell, jingle boy. Thank you, Esther. Much appreciated. Let's see. This comes from Nico from the United States. Every year in my town, there is something called the Walkway of Lights. I feel like every, at least American state has something kind of similar like this. It's basically where they fill the park full of Christmas lights and you can drive through and walk around. Oh, we had that too. It was called Rama back in Tulsa. It's so nostalgic for me. I really miss it. Me and my siblings decided we would walk around. It was pitch black, which was our first mistake. For a little context, my brother needs glasses very badly and he could not see. As we were walking, all of a sudden we hear him screaming. He accidentally walked into the pond. Oh no, hypothermia. It was cold and he was soaking wet, crying emoji. We stopped for pizza afterwards as a, sorry we didn't save you from the danger of the pond. Love you, Alexa. Merry Christmas, Queen. Thank you. Hopefully your brother didn't get too sick, because I imagine if it's winter and he fell in ice cold water, that could be bad. But watch out for your little brother next time. If he needs glasses to see and it's dark, shame, but thank you and Merry Christmas to you as well. It's a blank one. Oh, I get to tell you one of my stories about Christmas. Okay, so when I was an age, I distinctly remember that my parents played this recording of I guess someone must have made an audio of elves giggling or whatever with sleigh bells in the background, and that's how they woke up me and my brother for Christmas morning. I remember that. And I remember as a child looking at the notes that Santa Claus would leave my brother and I, and noticing how the S in Santa looked a lot like the S in my dad's signature. But I never thought too much about it until I got older and gained a little bit more consciousness, you know. But at a young age, I think I kind of picked up on the whole Santa Claus business. But yeah, so kiddos, look at Santa's signature and can think about how your parents sign things. But yeah, that's a fun memory for me, because I remember looking at it one day and realizing, Dad? So that's my fun little Christmas tidbit. So now moving on to the last letter. We just got a letter. We just got a letter. We just got a letter. Wonder who it's from. More Blue's Clues references for those of you who don't know. Also, Steve from Blue's Clues liked my comment on his TikTok. So Steve, you were my childhood. I love you and I miss you. Thank you for existing. Anyways, last story of the day. This comes from Holy Smokes from India. This occurred at a friend's house. My family doesn't celebrate Christmas, but my friend invited me to her house for a Christmas dinner. I wore my best cocktail dress and went over. Dinner was great, and we went outside to the backyard for a few drinks. Cheers to that. Call it a mono break. They had this outdoor campfire sort of thing, and we sat around it. After, we changed out of the cocktail dresses, of course, to be comfortable, right? And started playing Spin the Bottle. Ooh, this is getting juicy. My friend's dad, who had a little too much to drink, accidentally spun the bottle too hard, and it spun off into the fire and streaked fire across their backyard because the bottle still had alcohol in it. And that's It's about the time I spent Christmas night watching my friend's backyard burn. Yes, okay, so if you are by the fireplace for Christmas, do not put your wine glass by like the hearth of the fire, because if you knock that over, that's gonna be bad news for everybody, like in this story. I hope there wasn't too much collateral damage done to your friend's yard, God bless. Wow, but that's one way to light up the night for Christmas, but again, I wish we could have read all the stories that you all submitted, but thank you to those of you who submitted and the ones that we read today. Cannot wait to read your stories next year. What I didn't want to break. Cheers. Okay, now it is time to make a stocking from scratch. I have not exactly sewn in a while. I've tailored. This is my sewing machine. I have used it to tailor my cosplays and tailor some of my clothes that don't fit me, but I haven't actually sewn anything from scratch in a long time. Usually I used to do things manually, but ever since my mom taught me how to use a sewing machine, and I had to use it in high school and in college for costume making, I have a little bit of experience, but I am definitely and by no means a pro. I am 100% a novice. And if any of you out here are actually like professional seamstresses, please don't come at me. Please don't critique me. I know I'm doing things wrong. Just let me live my life, it's Christmas. So, ideally, you wanna have like a pattern and probably pins to like keep everything together, but since we're doing everything bare bones here, I'm just gonna estimate the size of the stocking that I want, and I think I wanna do a cute little one. Like we have a lot of fabric here, but I think I wanna do a cute little one, actually. So, let me actually move the fabric. So, if I want this, okay, so even though I'm cutting into where these raw edges are and where this is actually connected here, I'm still gonna stitch over and cut it later, but I'm just gonna get the basic shape down that I want. Oh my God, oh my God. Slowly but surely, we are making our way downtown, walking fast, faces past and I'm homebound, cause I need you, and I miss you, and now I wonder. Shout out to Terry Crews. Terry Crews, I love you. Okay, so I have my basic shape cut out. As you see, it is a basic sock shape, basic stocking shape. And again, ideally when you sew things, you want to be able to like have like certain like pins in place to keep your, you know, your thing together. And since this fabric is literally the same on both sides, there's no clean side, no ugly side, it's really not going to matter what side I stitch on. So I'm just going to turn it inside out at the end. Anyways, so let's go, shall we? Yeah, okay, so raise the pedal of your foot up. Raise the foot pedal up? Ignore me, please. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore, honestly. Okay, put that down. We're making it work! Oh my God, look at me being so domestic. I'm such a good wife. Hit me up. Looking for a wifey? Hit me up. Backstitch. Okay. Again, this is not my proudest work. This is not my best moment, but I promise you I've sewed before. Like, I promise you I have sewed before. And a thing that's important when you're sewing is you want to make sure the stitching on both sides is equally like the same kind of like tightness, I guess. So we're gonna turn it inside out. Or we just leave it like this. Hello. Okay. I think I want to add a strap or something. But yeah, this is my little sock boy. This is my little stocking boy. It can fit a whole iPhone 13. And if I wasn't afraid of spilling it, you could probably also fit the Cola de Modo in here. So, Merry Christmas! So, as Camila Cabello once said, I'll be home for Christmas. And what do you do when you're home for Christmas? You watch movies, either with your family, your friends, or by yourself. So we're gonna talk about some movies that remind me of the holidays. Write down in the comments what y'all's favorite movie to watch during the holiday season is, because personally for me, I remember ever since I was a little kid, waking up and always there was the old animated version of The Grinch that was on TV. Not the new one, but the old version, the 2D one. And I remember watching that like every year when I was a kid for the longest time. But there are other movies to discuss, so let's hop into that. The first movie that comes to mind when I think about Christmas is, without a doubt, Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas. Not just because Christmas is in the title, but because, well, actually maybe it is because Christmas is in the title, but it's been one of my favorite movies ever since it came out. Of course, I think it came out before I was born. It came out in '94, if I'm correct. I could be wrong, but '94 I think is when it came out. But I remember seeing it at a super young age, and of course it's imprinted with me and stayed with me for a long time. So Nightmare Before Christmas is just one of my favorite films. This is gonna age me horribly, but for everyone out there who remembers the movie Gremlins, you might remember that takes place during Christmas. Because remember the little dudes, the little gremlin dudes, there's like the Christmas tree horror that happens with that. Wait, if I'm correct, isn't there a Chucky movie that also takes place during Christmas? I don't remember. But Gremlins takes place during Christmas, so that's a fun one. We love Gizmo, my little fuzzy buddy. I love him. I used to have a Furby of Gizmo growing up, one of the talking ones. Like, that's another thing that's gonna date me. I feel like so many of my young fans are not gonna know what one, a Furby is, and two, Gremlins is, but you're missing out big time. And then let's see also, Mean Girls. Granted, it's not a Christmas movie, but you can't forget the jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. And then Amy Poehler with the video camera just going like, "You're doing great, sweetie." That's an iconic moment. Let's see what else. Of course, Home Alone. We all know Home Alone for various reasons. Let's see, what else is there? There's gotta be other movies. Of course, The Grinch. I already mentioned The Grinch earlier, but the live action one, with Jim Carrey, that is one of my favorites because I think Jim Carrey is such a phenomenal actor. So I really appreciate the live action plus the old animated version because it's just a classic. When I was a kid, what did I watch with my family? Oh, wait. Oh, what is this one movie? I forgot. What is it called? Let me Google it right now, actually, now that I have my phone here. Do you guys remember? It's kind of really stupid, but do you guys remember that one movie that would always play on Cartoon Network, Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer? Do you guys remember that animated movie? Like, I just remember specifically that one scene when they have like that little cha-cha number that's going on. And it's like, Grandpa's gonna sew the boots off of Santa. It's an obscure memory, but I remember that. I watched that a lot on Cartoon Network around the holiday season when I was a kid. Yeah, if you know it, you know it. If you don't know it, I look like an old, delusional person. Ultimate 5 favorite Christmas movies. I don't think it's a Christmas movie itself, but I know that one of the Chucky movies starts with a movie within a movie where Tiffany and Chucky kill one of those people dressed as Santa. So I remember that's a thing. And then there's also Lady and the Tramp because it starts off whenever Jim Darling gives Lady to his wife for Christmas. I remember that scene. That is one of my favorite Disney movies actually because it's just so cute with the puppies. They animated the dog so well for that. Again, I said Nightmare Before Christmas. I forgot what this other one is called, but it's the one that has the Heat Miser and the Snow Miser, the I'm Mr. White Christmas, I'm Mr. Snow, they're different movies. I swear on God they're different movies, but it's like the same animation style, but I just have so much nostalgia with those. Growing up, not the Chucky movie because that's a bit violent for a child, but like the Rudolph movie and everything, like those gave me so much nostalgia thinking about those movies actually. But yeah, wow, even thinking about it now, I realize I'm really old. But yeah, I miss those movies. I think I'll try to find them on the internet this year. Thank you all so much for joining me again this year for Alexmas. It is always a very special occasion for us to spend this time together every holiday season. I really enjoyed reading y'all's letters this year. I enjoyed being an absolute mess in the kitchen with y'all, as y'all know that I cannot do anything in the kitchen to save my life. And discussing movies, it's always fun. I hope you guys have a lot of fun this holiday season. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, and I hope you have a wonderful Christmas, happy holidays, and a happy new year. Much love.
Feliz Navidad, próspero año y felicidad. Feliz Navidad, feliz Navidad.